Hello and welcome to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times. This is JB in New Orleans.
This is Sean in Austin.
This is Morpheus at the Dreaming. You can call me Chris.
Isn't that supposed to come out soon on Netflix?
I don't know, but I've been listening to the audio plays on Audible.
Oh, how is that?
Fucking fantastic.
Hmm.
It's an adaptation of the comic books, and Neil Gaiman himself narrates it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Neil Gaiman's voice makes me moist. I'm just saying.
His voice makes me moist. His voice makes me moist.
Yeah, I think Darlene went to like a reading. He was at an event and he was actually reading from one of his books, and I think she his voice was so sort of deep and soothing that she actually fell asleep during the event.
I thought you were going to say she got off, but
And he was probably that fucking bitch fell asleep. That's my Neil Gaiman impersonation.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I don't know.
Well, gee, sorry we took so long to get a podcast. No, we're not sorry. We've got lives. We've got other shit to do. We weren't going to drop everything and record a podcast just because some shit happened here. I mean,
the fuck you people want from us?
My God, I know. Jeez. When Tom Baker eventually dies, yeah, we're going to drop everything and we're just going to I
want to reiterate that is never, ever going to fucking happen.
Okay. All right. But otherwise, we're just going to wait until we can get our schedules to align and we get together once a month, and that's about enough time. I think it's the three of us need to get together. And so we're going to talk. We got a lot of shit to talk about tonight. So, Ncuti Gatwa.
Good topic.
Ncuti Gatwa.
What a name.
What a name. So the last two times this happened, I gave a shit, and I actually recorded my reactions live. But I think it was one morning, I got up, I was going to get in the shower, and Darlene's like, "Oh, there's a new Doctor Who." And it's like, "There is?" She's like, "Yeah." And it's like, "Well, I'm going to shower, so I'm not going to,
I'm going to go take a shit.
Yeah.
Deal with this later.
Yeah. So I took a shower, and so I eventually, got online and saw that we do have a new doctor, and his name is Ncuti Gatwa. Now, have you guys seen him? Because we've actually been watching Sex Education, it's a show on Netflix.
Yeah. Very good show. I mean, I've only seen 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's as far as we've gotten.
The last episode, the third one, that was the abortion. That was something. That was really good.
Yeah.
I have to completely confess.
Yes.
I thought, oh, of course, it's a black guy. And then I thought, that's racist, Sean. And then I kept reading. I'm like, he's gay too.
Is he though? I don't know. He's been very coy about his.
It's not confirmed, but as I said, yeah, if he's not gay, I'll eat my hat. Or I mean, maybe not gay, but bi or tan or any of the other things out there. But I feel pretty confident he is not a straight dude.
Well, whenever he feels like the need to come out, that's fine. It's no big, it's not important really,
Yeah, I was kind of glad that they're ambiguous about it, because for that reason, it's like, why is it important?
Yeah.
But when I watched, and I saw Sex Education before, and by the way, that main kid in there is the same little boy that was in Hugo. Remember the movie Hugo?
I did not see that.
Yeah, he's all grown up now, but yeah. Then maybe they're halfway through the first episode, I was like, okay, he's got it. He's the person to play the doctor. He has that energy. He has that charisma, and I really can't wait to see him. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm stoked. When they announced it, I wasn't like, of course, it's a black guy. The surprise factor was 0 at this point. So I was like,
yeah.
like 2 or 3 doctors ago, if it'd been a black guy, it would have been like a nuclear explosion. But at this point, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that kind of figures. But
Yeah. I read and it's like, okay, I don't know who this guy is, and then it's like, oh, he's on that sex education film, that sex education show. So, because I think we watched like one episode of that, and it's like, well, maybe we should start watching that again. And I mean, he's playing a gay high schooler, and he's like very, very young. I think
he's
he'll be
a baby.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be like, I think he's 29 now, so he's the same age as Matt Smith when he started.
And he was a baby too.
Baby.
Yes, he was.
I have not seen Sex Education yet. I keep meaning to because I want to get a preemptive read on what kind of doctor we're getting, but I have not watched it. I got a review from my wife who has watched a few episodes, and she doesn't think the show's all that great, but she liked him. So.
Okay. Yeah, there was a scene involving a banana that was absolutely great, hilarious. The one thing I could see that he would do that I wouldn't like is if he does this, he could quite possibly be imitating, David Tennant or Jodie Whittaker as David Tennant. That's what I'm afraid of. But we're going to get more, loud, fast talking. That's what I don't want.
I'm going to say that's not going to happen for 2 reasons. One, I get the impression he's a very talented actor, even with the limited, practically non-existent sampling I've got. Everything I've read about him and heard from other people sounds like he's a really good actor. And 2, RTD is not going to do that. He's not going to write him like that.
No,
he can actually write a character with an actual personality,
Yeah, I mean, they asked him because they actually announced this because I think they were both going to be on the red carpet for the BAFTA Awards, and this was about to leak, so they decided to go ahead and just have the news out there. Someone asked him about who's your favorite doctor, who you're going to model yourself after, and I mean he gave kind of a sort of a well thought out but sort of like a non-answered answer. Because he's like, yeah, I respect, all the people who've, gone before. I'm looking forward to, and I've been, I am a big fan. I mean, I don't know if he's actually seen Doctor Who, but I would hope that, unlike Jodie Whittaker, he'll do some research. He'll watch some of the episodes. He'll get
do a little homework, please.
Exactly, because I mean, he's aware of Doctor Who, but I mean, who knows whether or not he's actually watched Doctor Who? It's important to sort of maybe take in some little traits of past doctors here and there, but you really have to make it your own. And Jodie Whittaker failed to do that miserably.
I feel like in a lot of ways Peter Capaldi kind of did too.
Yeah.
Not to as much of a degree, but
right. I mean, I'm not maybe acting wise, but certainly the look. He just too much John Pertwee, too much Patrick Troughton with the tartan pants and the hoodie.
It was the Doctor cosplaying the Doctor.
Right, but I mean, and he was an asshole like Colin Baker, and then he was a little goofier like Tom Baker, but he still had a bit of an edge to him, and he was still. I mean, the scripts were shit, but you just couldn't take your eyes off of him.
Right.
And he had. I mean, he's had at least 3 standout moments in that role. I don't think Jodie has really had a standout moment at all.
No. That's very true. I'd say almost every other doctor has at least 1 or 2 kind of defining moments that it's like, yeah, that's her. That's this doctor in a nutshell. Yeah, like
Colin Baker had the speech at the in the trial. I fought evil across the universe. I should have stayed here.
Or Matt Smith at Stonehenge, or Tom Baker in Destiny, or
Genesis of the Daleks, yeah.
Or Genesis. What did I say?
You said Destiny.
Destiny, yeah, Genesis. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Destiny. He was like, "House, back off!"
Well, now I'm thinking I think Hartnell may be telling off the War Machine And maybe Troughton is when he does that little speech, there are some things in the universe, things that are so evil, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember what exactly he says.
Hartnell, I think
Troughton had a few.
Hartnell had, I think there's two of them I would give Hartnell. One would be like the big speech he does at the edge of destruction where they got, they practically have a spotlight on him. And he's standing next to the console. And it's like, and at the end, he's like, it's like, with lots of planets, and you can just tell William Hartnell. You can just like see the expression on the face. Is like, I got the line, I got it, because they only probably, he only had the one take, and then I think the other moment was his last words to Susan.
Yeah,
I was going to point that one out.
Yeah, Troughton. Yeah, there are some corners of the universe that has bred the most terrible things, and probably like is. I choose to remember my family just bits and pieces here, but the rest of the time they sleep in my mind. Mm. And for me, John Pertwee, I think for me is Inferno episode 7, where it's like free will isn't an illusion after all. The pattern can be changed.
Mm-hmm. Or then there's the part about where he's talking to Joe about courage and what's he say? Courage isn't the lack of fear, it's facing your fear. It's something like that. I can't remember.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And then you've got McCoy with unlimited rice pudding. Suited him, his doctor perfectly.
Yes, and then Eccleston was everyone lives, justice once rose, everyone lives.
And what would Davison?
There should have been another way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Davison standing in the middle of a sea of bodies and going, didn't do that one right.
Yeah. Well, that was a good trip down that memory lane.
Well, we didn't get Tenet, but yeah.
Well, we're getting Tenet again. So, like a week after this shit hit, we got some more shit that hit, and I think it was again. I got up and Darlene says, something's happening. You need to go on the internet right now and look. I was like, shit, what now? So David Tennant and Catherine Tate are returning. They're going to be in this 60th anniversary special, which we're not going to see for in the next year and a half. And there have been some photos leaked. They're shooting on location. And I think Wilf is also, because they had a picture of them wheeling Wilf around, and he's like, the guy's in his 90s practically.
You were wheeling him around, like he's like half alive.
Well, no, it's not like Weekend at Bernie's,
He's not Mae West in her final role. Yeah.
So is crap? I'm blanking on his name. The actor, Wilf.
Bernard Cribbins. So yeah. It literally is Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh.
Because his name is Bernie.
So is he in a wheelchair now, or is that just?
I think that might be the character. I think that might be the character because it's like you can't pay me to run around this shit again. It's like, well, we can put you in a wheelchair? Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm too old for this shit.
Does his wheelchair, go down the driveway, and he screams out to Catherine Tate, "I seem to be drifting, sweetheart."
Oh God! Oh dear God!
I can't tell you. I have never heard a line more in Doctor Who than "You seem to be drifting, sweetheart," because every time you put in a DVD, that ad for that season is on the beginning of the DVD.
Yeah, and he hits skip.
Yeah, right after he says that.
And then he reaches the bottom of the stairs and he gets hit by the same car that hit Pete Tyler.
Wait, that's a reference that I don't understand what it was.
That was a reference to Father's Day.
Golly. Okay. I'm like, isn't that the guy from the Depeche Mode that died just lately?
Yes. And also the drummer for Yes. Not Bill Bruford, but Alan White died yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you see the pictures from their last concert? It was their farewell tour.
Oh, you mean Genesis?
Genesis, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I have the band wrong.
Well, I mean the same genre. It's the same
Yeah.
genre of music. Yeah. So I will forgive you that because those are like Yes is like my favorite band and Genesis is
I
like
read
my
an
second
article, they
favorite
were-
band.
Yeah, they were showing this article, and it was talking about, like, I think it was the final two shows. Phil Collins performed the whole show sitting in a chair on stage because he can't
Yeah.
get around for shit anymore, and he can't drum anymore.
Right, because he's got.
And
like,
they showed a
damage.
picture of him, and I probably had not seen a current picture of Phil Collins since like the '90s, and they showed him as like, whoa.
Yeah.
Not trying to be crude, but I mean he's kind of gone Davros way.
Yeah, I was about to say he does look like Davros now.
When you saw
I mean, I'm not sure how old he is now, but
He's in his 70s at least, I think.
He looked well into his 90s. I
Yeah.
mean, he's bald. He's sitting. He is all saggy and just the man's not doing well.
Can you hear him coming from the other night?
How loud?
When you saw the picture of him, did you go do 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 do?
I did mentally. I did do that.
I can hear it come.
I can't hear anything. I can
I
barely
did
hear it.
shit.
I can't come in the other night ever again. Oh, does this mean that the 60th anniversary is not going to have any of the other doctors in it, or we're just going
Well,
to
see,
have?
that's the thing, because I mean, there's a lot of people saying that that Jodie's going to regenerate back into 10 for whatever reason, and then the doctor's going to have a bug up his ass to go back and find Donna, despite the fact that if she remembers him, her brain will explode. Blah blah fucking blah. But there's also, I mean, RTD has basically said that he has fed a lot of disinformation out there. So, I mean, I sure as hell hope that, I mean, they did set the precedent. They did give us the way in because we did have The Curator by Tom Baker. The fact that he likes to visit his old faces now and again. So that is possible, but I just don't fucking do it. Just Russell,
they're not.
Russell,
gonna
just
do that.
don't even go there, please.
They're not going to do that. I feel very confident that's.
Yeah, and also this is going to be really shitty for Shitty. Say that 3 times fast.
Shitty for shooty,
Shitty
shitty for
for
shitty, shitty for shooty, shooty for shitty. A tomato, potato. Let's call the whole thing off. Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, it's like, did we not learn our lessons from like Deep Breath, where we have Matt Smith literally phoning himself in, telling all the fangirls, it's okay, you can like this guy now.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
like this
It's
old
okay
man
to
now.
like the creepy old guy.
Yeah, Jesus
Who has
fuck.
candy.
Yeah, when that's the one that somebody got mad at me because I said that's for the fangirls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, is Tenet going to like reassure all the straight white people, hey, it's okay?
Going back to Catherine Tate, I know you guys probably don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but every season they do what's called the Snatch Game. And basically, it's like the match game.
Yeah.
But they all dress up like different celebrities, and somebody dressed up like Catherine Tate and did Catherine Tate. And the makeup was fantastic because they were doing Catherine Tate playing her Nan. Remember how she played the old lady? I think they should have done Catherine Tate doing Catherine Tate, but whatever.
Or like the schoolgirl, at least.
Yeah, do you?
Am I bothered? Am I bothered?
I'm not bothered.
Oh, that would have been really good. Anyway, yeah. So it's just nice to see a connection between RuPaul's Drag Race and Doctor Who, despite how tenuous that connection is. I also enjoy watching Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder. He's a horror movie show host. And he was talking about Night of the Living Dead. And he had Svengoolie on from Chicago. You know who this is? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is, yeah.
and they're talking, and he's like, anything bad ever happen on the show? And Svengoolie says, yeah, we had John Pertwee on the show one time, and he came out of a coffin, and right after he came out of the coffin, a pillar or a column that was on the studio fell down right in front of him and almost crushed us both.
Wow.
And I'm like, that is so funny that so I had to go, and I found it online. You can find John Pertwee and son of Svengoolie almost getting killed live on TV.
Oh, we'll put a link to that in the show
Yeah.
notes. I'll definitely check that out.
Also, George Bob Briggs said that The Night of the Living Dead was a double feature with Doctor Who and the Daleks. And I threw my wine at the TV. I'm like, sir, no!
No. Oh my God! You're at a sci-fi convention in Southern Illinois when someone says, "Yeah, Doctor Who and the Daleks."
Yeah, and sometimes they even put the art like garlic, Daleks. Oh yeah, the Daleks. So, yeah.
Is that you laughing back there? Sterling found that funny, I guess. Daleks. Yeah, remember we were in Archon? I was at this Doctor Who panel at Archon one time, and some guy said Daleks, and it's just like, oh Jesus Christ.
Do they worship the Daleks?
They washed the Daleks.
Warshaman Zinc.
They died down farty far.
I used to have a geography teacher, and she used that. I don't know where she was from, but she would say like, "Oh yes, the state of Washington," and everybody would crack up. And she's,
oh man,
it's like, it's just funny to say that.
Yeah.
My mother says Warsh.
Where did you? Like, why do they say that? Where is the R in the word? Do you see?
I don't know, or the O for that matter.
Yeah.
Like it's wash. It would be more understandable if you mispronounced it as wash.
Margaret Cho has this great joke years ago, and she was in the hospital, and this lady came in, and the lady said to her in the hospital, she said, "Hi, my name is Gwen. I'm here to wash your vagina." Margaret Cho's like, you could hear it in the word. You could hear the water and the suds. I'm here to wash your vagina.
Well, sounds like she got a deep cleaning there.
Yeah, she's like, do you think she says it like, when she's, not at work, like, I'm here to wash your vagina. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm here to renew my driver's license. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Wash your vagina. Wash.
Oh, good
Oh.
God.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is not on topic at all.
No, let's sort of steer it back on topic. So anyway, so as a sort of a triple threat, we have this new character played by a transgender TikTok influencer named Yasmin Finney. So we're getting rid of one Yaz, and another Yaz is coming into the fold.
But she's a rose.
But she's a rose, and like people are going, what? What is this?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well,
Character's name is apparently Rose, but that's like pretty much all the detail they're giving on it.
yes.
Oh.
Well, there are two theories. One I think is more plausible than the other one. The more plausible explanation is that she's Donna's kid because she married that Sean guy, and
That tracks. Okay.
and so I mean that was back in like 2010. I mean that was like I think 12 years ago, but they're gonna fudge the timey-wimey shit. So it's their daughter. And then for some reason she named her Rose because there was something in her subconscious that was still there because she did interact with Rose for a couple of stories.
Right.
The other theory, which I think is bullshit, is that she's a Rose Tyler from another dimension.
Oh, no, please no.
Yeah.
No. I like
Again,
the
plausible though.
I like Donna's daughter. I like that theory very much, though. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And is the character transgender or the?
I don't
actor?
know.
That would make
The
a good
actor
story.
is.
I like that.
The actor is, but I don't know if the character is. I don't know if the character is. I guess we'll find out. But I mean, I did see because I was just looking at her announcement, and she says that she is appearing with David, with Catherine Tate, and with Ncuti Gatwa. So I'm going to take it to mean that basically Ncuti Gatwa, Jodie's going to regenerate into Ncuti. And then for some reason, for whatever reason, because it's like the 60th anniversary, he's going to have an adventure with David Tennant. He's going to pick up this. So basically, RTD, he's got such a fucking hard on for Rose. It's as bad as like Moffat with Clara. He just can't let
and it's been
goddamn
since even before he was the showrunner, because they had in Damaged Goods. The one Virgin New Adventure he wrote was, I don't think the character's name was Rose, but there was a mother and a daughter, and they were the Tylers. And they were, if you like me read it after you'd seen RTD's run, it's like they're quite obviously the prototypes for Rose and Jackie. He was fucking with that idea 10 years before he got to put it on to Doctor Who.
Okay, so this will be like the third go around then.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically, I mean, I don't know if she's going to be, I don't know if she's just like a story character or if she's going to be a new companion. I kind of think she's going to be a new companion because why would they give it so much hype in the media?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, okay, I'm not saying this to diminish it or anything, but they might just kind of be trying to brag on the fact that they're bringing in a trans actor.
Yeah. So do you think do we think that she's going to go on the TARDIS with the new Doctor and they're going to have adventures together, and all the straight white Republicans are just going to be clutching their pearls now because we have
I'm here for it.
You know,
I'd be cool with that.
I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty cute too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's young. I think she's still like she's barely legal there, Chris. So I don't, you know.
I just said she's cute, for fuck's sake.
She's barely legal. Oh yeah, I remember that series.
Is it like confirmed that this is not going to be Ten and Donna pre-memory wipe shit? Like, you know, this is just a forgotten adventure that we never saw.
Well, she's had a daughter. No, she's had a daughter. This had to have been afterwards.
But we don't know that's speculation, though, isn't it?
I guess it is.
Because you said it was a fan theory, and I'd not actually even heard that. But
okay. His clothes are a bit different. I mean, it's sort of the same style, but it's a different coat and it's a different suit. So and he does look a little older now, but I don't know if it's like the bullshit thing. Like if you meet future incarnations of yourself, then you'll age relative to the, you know, the amount of time between doctors, kind of thing. What they pulled with, the reason why Peter Davison looked like shit in that beige costume.
I honestly hope it's set after the memory wipe thing, and like you know, maybe this is in his Time Lord Victorious phase, and he decides, fuck it, I'm going to go back and fix Donna. I kind of hope that's what's happening, because she was my favorite. I mean, I would say still my favorite companion of the new series, and they fucking did her wrong, man.
Well, I mean, if it's after, if it's after that, then you know, it has to be after that, because I mean, for whatever reason, they're going to have her remember the Doctor again.
Well, not if they go back and say that, you know, this 10th Doctor and Donna that they're running into are just, you know, the Doctor and Donna after, you know, the episode with the spider bitch or whatever, you know, it's...
Exactly. Now, there's also been some rumors, because I think this episode, the 60th anniversary special, is being directed by Rachel Talalay. And she had been recently seen where they're shooting Doctor Who with Peter Capaldi. So You know, so is he the only Doctor that's coming back?
I think it would be so cool if they all came back. I don't care if it's kind of a mess. I think it would be neat.
I thought Capaldi had basically gone on record saying I can't be fucked. Like I'm done with Doctor Who.
Well, maybe RTD sort of like gave him a call and sort of, you know, switched the deal a bit. Money. You know, I'll do it for you, Russell. I'll do it for you, Russell.
I'll do it for you, you fuck.
You fucking cunt.
I'd love to see it. How of them are we? There's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If you don't count the War Doctor, that's 6.
Well, he's dead,
actors.
so you know they're not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He's not coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might. John Hurt's tricksy like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way we're gonna get Eccleston back because Eccleston's not gonna come back to for a Russell T Davies helm.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
that's absolutely true. Because I know he wouldn't come back at all, but he is coming back for things like the Hootenanny. There's something that he did. There was an audio, Big Finish. But yeah, he's got some personal issues.
I wonder if John Barrowman's going to be
the non-starter there.
I don't think that's no.
Yeah, pretty sure he is officially canceled from Doctor Who.
So who knows? I mean, we've got a long way to go. They're just now shooting this 60th special. We have not seen. I mean, I'm sure eventually we're going to get the costume reveal at some point, and I'm sure we'll be bitching about that as well. But just don't make it costumey. Don't make it fucking Jesus. You know, put him in some nice clothes.
Yeah, I hope they don't put him in that awful shirt with the fucking open thing in the front.
Looks like the Prince symbol on his chest. You know.
Well, I think it makes his pec, like the way it's shaped and with his pecs poking into it, it looks like a big cock and balls.
Yeah, now it's
look at the picture and tell me you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually the picture they used for the cover of Doctor Who magazine, the latest issue.
My God, some heads must have exploded about that.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
I'm not like offended by it. I just think it looks dumb. That's my only gripe about it. It's fucking dumb looking. But yeah, are they going to be bold enough to address the race issue in the show? Like, for example, what if Doctor Who peeks back to the antebellum South or something? Awkward, you know. And I'd love it if they fucking let's do that. Let's.
Well, I mean, Russell T certainly visited that with Martha. I mean, he just he didn't make it he didn't okay, we got to stop everything right now. We have to talk about racism here.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be the central theme of the show or something, but again, wouldn't totally be bothered if they went that route because, I mean.
Right, but they can do it without being preachy.
Yeah,
right.
They did it in that with Bill in that episode where they were on the frozen river, the Thames
or whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah.
Right. But
it wasn't. It
was more of a comedy moment because we got to see Peter Capaldi slug a guy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's going to be forever, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time. We have Jodie's last story to go through first here.
When's that?
Oh God, I think it's supposed to be sometime in October. We still got a ways to go, so we'll forget all about it.
I think I heard some kind of time frame like between August and October.
Yeah. They'll probably announce it like a week before they air it. It's like, oh, this is going to be on the schedule here, you know.
Try to sneak it past.
Oh, by the way, Jodie's last episode. And congrats to Jodie because apparently she did pop out her second kid.
Yay!
Yeah. That's all I know. I don't know anything else about it, but apparently.
Cheers, Jodie. I can just picture her standing there with her face all grizzled up. I'm going, it's coming, it's coming. Okay.
She's doing the karate stance.
She's got the stink
There's
face.
Baby coming out.
Yeah. What was the nice review? Not to bring it all back to us. You know, we were talking about.
Oh
Nice
yeah.
things.
So like about a week ago, it's been like about a week ago. It was late at night. I was really drunk.
And Darlene said,
No.
Darlene
Darlene was like sewing logs on the couch because she falls asleep on the couch like by 10 o'clock.
My
And
wife does that too.
yeah. And I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, fuck, because it's like, all these fucking podcasts get reviews, and we've got like one review. We got one fucking review, and it's not even technically for Doctor Who Gives a Fuck. It was back when it was Who 37, and so that does.
Was Jeff Waddle telling us we were cunts? Probably.
No, it wasn't. It was actually Kate Breck from the Bays Watch Buffy podcast, who was on the podcast a couple of times. It was back when it was still Who 37, and she gave a glowing review. So that doesn't really count because it's not the same show. But I'm too lazy to like give it a new podcast feed, or too cheap or whatever. But I posted on Twitter. It's just like, I'm drunk. Let me see if I can find the tweet here.
I'm drunk. Tell me I'm pretty.
I'm 50.
And I kick. I'm 50 years old, and I got a camel toe.
I'm drunk and it's late, and I'm really sad that none of our listeners have left a review on iTunes/Apple. If at least 5 of you leave a review by the time we record next Friday, which is today, we'll pick one to receive an exclusive digital art of any Doctor Who character you like, drawn by me. And I posted examples of my digital artwork. I've got a Tom Baker up there, and a John Pertwee, and a David Tennant, and a Jodie up there. So we got one review, and it's not actually posted on Apple Podcast yet, and he'll explain why. But this actually came through from the blog site, and it is from Rob O'Shea. He says, "Hi guys, this is your Irish fan from New Zealand." So we've got some guy from New Zealand listening to us here.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe it's my phone. He has an Android phone. Or just my stupidity, but I tried to rate and make comments on iTunes today, but couldn't. I will try again. However, when I do find a way, my review will be this. Think of a respectable, sophisticated, erudite person you would bring on a date and yet be bored. That's the other Doctor Who podcasts.
I like this guy.
Yeah, it gets better. This podcast is the date with the short skirt, bad habit, a criminal record, and a dirty mouth.
You goddamn right.
You may end up in a river or a dumpster by the end of the date, but you know it was worth it. Doctor Who Gives a Fuck is the dirty date you want to say no to, but you just can't resist. It's bad for you, but way more fun than Radio Scaro.
Fucking cheers to you, Robert Shea.
I love this guy. I love
that is the thank you. That was a glowing fucking review. I love that.
Yeah, please send me your email address. I will shoot you over any Doctor Who character you want me to draw. I will send you an exclusive NFT of a drawing, of digital drawing of a Doctor Who character, your choice.
I think you kind of called us the dirty sluts of Doctor Who podcast.
I want to fuck this podcast.
I'm here for it.
I want to fuck this podcast now. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably catch something, but fuck it.
Well, if you're fucking on podcast, it's technically masturbating, right?
Yeah.
No. Let me think about that.
I'm trying to remember if I ever fucked a podcast. Yes.
Which one? Which one?
It was called My Dad Wrote a Porno. No, this was actually a good podcast. Someone recommended. It kind of wears out after a while because you can only flog that premise so many times. But the guy who's doing the podcast had this father, who's, believe it or not, even older than us, who decided in his retirement that he's going to write erotic fiction.
Okay.
And they just talk about it and read excerpts that this guy's dad, who is absolutely not a fucking talented writer, wrote. I mean, this is like your fucking. I mean, this is like if you imagine like 50-year-old conservative dad in his fucking new era sneakers, fucking writing a porno.
There is a podcast.
It's amusing for a few episodes, but
there's a podcast called The Worst Year Ever.
Mhm.
Robert Evans and some other people, and they read portions of Ben Shapiro's book, his fiction book, and just tear it apart and how because it's terrible. It's
I don't think that man has ever produced anything that wasn't fiction. But God bless you, Robert Shea.
yes.
Yeah.
You're a gentleman scholar.
Yeah, reach out to me with your email address and what you would like me to draw, and I will get to work on that very soon. I actually put out a nice sketch. I drew Yvonne Craig as Barbara Gordon, and I put that out like yesterday, and that's gotten like a lot of good hits there. A lot of people responded very positively to that. And it was actually I was really quite pleased with how the sketch turned out.
Well, if he's going to come back, he's going to be, I want to see Polly, Ben, and Jamie /art.
Ugh.
I've got some here somewhere.
Oh, really? I saw ones with, it was Tom Baker and Peter Davison, and they were both holding chains. One of them had Turlo, the other one had Adric.
Oh,
I think I got that from Chris Burgess. Chris Burgess, he's also the one that brought the Doctor Who porn.
a nice one on Twitter once of 10 and 5 making out, which is simultaneously self-love and incest, I guess, because Peter Davison's actually his father-in-law.
Right. Yes. The mind boggles. But anyway, the Doctor Who porn is pretty damn good. It's not like, porn. It's good.
Was that the Doctor? Was that the Doctor? What was that called?
Doctor Whore, I think.
Doctor Whore. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen parts of that.
Yeah.
I mean, no one keeps watching after you ski, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm actually going through my Twitter feed, and I think we've got someone. Okay, I think we've got someone who's probably going to die very soon here in the Doctor Who
I swear to
world.
God, if you say Tom
It's
Baker.
not Tom. It's not fucking Tom.
Okay.
But this is from Richard Franklin's Twitter feed.
Oh no.
It says, update. Hi all. I saw Richard yesterday. So it's not even him posting. It's someone who posts for him on his Twitter. I saw Richard yesterday and he was on good form, though frail. He said he sends his thanks to all your best wishes, which I read to him, and prayers. He's frustrated not to be able to tweet himself, but his sense of humor remains, and he's being well cared for. So he's on his way out.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Is that Yates?
Yes, that is Yates.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there's a picture of him. You wouldn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me hold on a second here.
He was at DFW Who Fest, and one of the saddest things I ever saw was that man walking out of the hotel with his luggage, or what I thought might be his luggage, and it was basically a plastic bag.
Oh.
It's sad.
It wasn't a colostomy bag, was it?
No, Jesus wept.
Sad. I'm sitting directly across from a picture of him at the moment. I have an autographed picture of him on my wall in my bar. He was a nice dude. John Levine was a fucking dick, though. But
that guy's
right.
a cunt. That guy's a cunt. Yeah.
He practically called me a faggot, but yeah.
What?
What? Okay, now you can't just
I thought I told this story.
No, tell the story.
Okay, all right. I think I have, but I'll tell it again because
No, you didn't. No,
Okay.
you did not.
No, this was at CT, and you were there with me.
I was?
You weren't with me when this happened, but we were at this seat. It was the one that had
Katie and Richard and John were there. Yeah.
yes, all three of them, and
Yes.
and I went through the line, and like I went up and I met Katie, and she was absolutely fucking adorable, and I told her that I listened to the Scorchies on the way up there, and I love that fucking, that's like one of my favorite Big Finish stories, and I had to tell her that. I'm like, that was fucking brilliant. Thank you for doing that. And she did the mouse voice for me, which was great. And and while she's doing it, she like grabbed my hand and she was like waving my arm all over the place and being all fucking animated, and it was just glorious. And then I met Yates, or not Yates, but Richard Franklin, and he was really subdued. He was just chill, and he was very nice. And I chit chatted with him for a minute, and then I went out and I met John Levine. Was the last one, and he signed my autograph. And one of the things I usually do when I get an autograph from these people is I'm like, can I shake your hand? And I don't really even know why I do it, but it's just kind of in my mind. I feel like I haven't.
You want that
some-
personal connection. You kind of
Basically, it's like I feel like I haven't really met you unless I shake your hand, and it's like I shake your hand, I can say I met John Levine, right?
Yeah.
And he signed my autograph, and I'm like, I was just like, and mind you, I wasn't teensy bit inebriated at this time. I wasn't like falling down drunk or anything, but I'd had a few beers. And he signed my autograph, and I was like, "Can I shake your hand, sir?" And he holds up his hand, and he's like, "Oh, I've got ink all over it," and which I think was him trying to be polite and say I don't want to shake hands,
which is fine.
But that didn't register, and I just went, "Oh no, I don't mind," and held my hand out. And he like kind of made this face and like half-heartedly shook my hand. And then as I'm walking off, he goes, "He's one of those guys."
Ooh.
Oh.
And I swear I almost turned around and was like, "One of what fucking
What the
guys?"
fucker?
But I was a little taken aback at the moment, so I like a little bitch just kept on walking. But
I like to think that maybe he wasn't thinking of you as gay, but maybe something else, like somebody who's really in your face. I don't know.
maybe.
Or
I
maybe
don't know.
he thought he was so hot.
I wasn't in his face at all, though. I was just like, "Can I shake your hand?" And every other Doctor Who guy or gal that I've done that to was just like, "Yeah, sure," and shook my hand, and fucking we parted as friends. But that was it.
Did you guys ever heard the Sue Perryman story?
No.
So Sue Perryman was the wife in the Wife in Space blog. Neil Perryman used to do that blog.
Okay.
And they went to a local Doctor Who event, and they got to meet John Levine. And this was actually recorded audio. There's an audio recording of this. And they're sort of standing around. I think it's like I think it might have been like doing the intermission of his, because he does like a cabaret show.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God.
And it might have been during intermission, and like they're having a conversation, and like Sue accidentally spills some alcohol on his suit, and he went fucking ballistic.
Wow.
And they just got the fuck out of there, and they just beat cheeks and just
Beat cheeks.
and they were like, and I mean they were like, oh my God. I was just like, man, he just did a complete 180 there. And it's like, and you can hear it. It was actually on, he had like a special podcast about it, because they used to do Tachyon TV. As I think it was an episode of Tachyon TV that they did. But yeah, he just like turned on a dime and just went fucking ballistic on her.
Wow.
And she's like, and it was really sad, because she's like, Benton was like one of her favorite characters, and that just really ruined the character for her.
I mean, that incident for me kind of ruined it for me, because I love his character in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And then after that, every time I watch this now, I think of him calling me one of those guys, and I'm like, you're a fucking dick.
I've heard some stories that he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, I met Gary Russell, and he was an asshole when I met him, but you kind of expect that from Gary Russell. Like, everybody knows Gary Russell is an asshole.
Yes. Yeah. I won't even approach him because it's like, you know what? I don't have time for this.
Have I told the story about Michael Jason trying to kill me?
Yeah. I actually
I thought
heard
I told that.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear this.
All right,
Sorry.
I'm going to edit it out, but we've heard the story before. But go ahead, I'll just edit it out.
He snuck. I did the handshake thing on him, and when I met him to get his autograph, and I think it was at the same convention even, he went on this rambling story about a boxer he knew. He asked my name, and I was like, I'm Chris Buchanan. And he went on this rambling story about a boxer he knew named Buchanan. And I was not tracking his story. Like, I don't know what this has to do with anything. But, it was nice. It's like Michael Jason telling me this story about a boxer. But he had, at the convention, he had a cold. Quite obviously. He was like sneezing and coughing the whole fucking convention, and he kind of looked a little pale. So, I mean, he wasn't like dying or anything, but you could tell he had a little bit of a cold or something going on. And then when I did the handshake thing, like right before he went to shake my hand, he like sneezed and like did the little, he covered it with his hand and then did like the little finger nose scratch kind of thing and then shook my hand. And I'm just like, you nasty motherfucker. And then 2 days later, I was sick as a fucking dog. And so I can honestly say the Valyard tried to kill me. So, yeah.
Well, it's like it's a very good story. It reminds me of the movie Trekkies and the Q story.
Mm-hmm.
John Delancey was sick, and he was up on this. He was doing a thing, and he's got a glass of water he's drinking from, and then he went back up to his room because he didn't feel well, and they did an auction, and somebody was like, "Oh, let's auction off John Delancey's water glass." And the guy's like, I don't think you want to drink this. He was really sick. We don't care. So they paid, I don't know how much money for it. And the guy drank it. Of course, it was some guy. And he's like, I got the Q virus in me now. I've got the Q virus. Okay, whatever.
And he died.
I'd rather the Q virus than the Valyard, though.
Yeah, I remember because Michael Jason, because I remember him being at we were both at that Chicago TARDIS Con. I didn't witness it, but my friend Chrissy was at the con, and she had like her husband and her kids and her dad were all at the con. And I'm actually trying to find a picture of this right now because this is kind of a visual aid. It won't help anyone listening to the podcast right now. But Chrissy's father is sort of like got white hair and a beard, and he was sort of wearing like a hat, like not quite a cowboy hat, and he had like the blue like the blue jean jacket and all that. But he fucking looked like John Hurt.
Okay.
And Michael Jason actually like came up to him and thought he was John Hurt.
Oh my goodness!
And then
please tell me he owned it.
Well, they struck up a conversation, and basically he became Michael Jason's smoke buddy.
Nice. Yeah, he was. I noticed that at the convention. He was ducking out for a ciggy frequently. Yeah. He's apparently a bit of a chain smoker.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he became Siggy buddies with my friend's dad.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to find because there's a picture of me sitting next to him at the main hall in Chicago TARDIS here. I know it's somewhere in my Facebook feed. So
and despite his attempted biological warfare, I would actually say Michael Jason is probably next to Katie Manning the second nicest Doctor Who celebrity I met. Like he was just very conversational and really nice, and like he actually gave a shit about the fans. And also he is very he told in I saw what do you call it when he gets up on the stage and talks to everybody, discussion or fucking
The
whatever.
panel.
The panel. He did a panel and talked about how the Valyard should be considered a doctor.
Well, fuck, why not? Everyone else is.
Well, I mean, I mean, at the time, I thought he made a very convincing and valiant. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with that. A valid
point, yeah.
valid point. And even and I mean, the direction Doctor Who's gone in since then even further backs up the point. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know, maybe he was an alternate dimension, timey-wimey, debatably existed Doctor, but he was the Doctor. I'll count it. I'll allow it. I'm good with it. I don't know what number we're going to give him, but does that even matter anymore?
The mind boggles.
Yeah.
Somewhere, yeah, the mind boggles. Yeah.
This is okay. Do you guys remember when the whole Day of the Doctor shit went down and John Hurt was the War Doctor and there were a lot of fucking people that I kept running into on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and all that bullshit that got really fucking pedantic about, like, for example, you'd refer to Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor, and there would always be some little fucking dickwhip that'd come out and like, actually, he's the 13th Doctor, and it's like, fuck you, shut up. You know, it's like, I'm not worried about the fucking numerology of this shit. If fucking Matt Smith says he's the 11th Doctor, I don't care if he's the 50th, he's fucking the 11th Doctor. I'm going to call him the 11th Doctor. Fuck you. But now that we have all the timeless child shit, I want to know where these pedantic fucktwats are. It's like, okay, so is Jodie like the 182nd Doctor technically, you little fucking bitch? Can you fucking explain this to me? They don't have much to say these days, I guess.
Where was the? Oh, you said it was everywhere. You said Google Plus, and I'm like, whoa, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was on Google Plus for a minute. I don't even know if that's still a thing.
Okay, I found the photo here. I'm gonna forward it here in a second here.
Oh God, I swear to God, if you send me some shit,
no,
it's the first Doctor fucking somebody again.
No, no, I'm not gonna do that again. Let's see here. Where's the chat function here? I hate fucking Skype.
You know what? You got to give it some credit. It got a lot better after a while. When I first podcasted, it was a piece of shit.
It was shit when it came out.
I think then, the pandemic came and everybody started using Zoom, and Skype was like, shit, we got to up our game here and make sure that we actually work. And when I say work, I mean the program and the people that work at Skype, because... Okay, let's see this.
Okay, this is me.
Oh my God, yes, that does look like him.
Good, JB.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
That was a good pick of you too, bro.
Yeah, we were sitting there. I think we were in the main hall. We were looking. This might have been the Katie panel that we were at.
One year when I took Tom to Gallifrey, he mostly hated it.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Well, except for that one time when he met E.G. So that was, and they actually got along and shit, and it was bizarre. He's talking to them. All of a sudden, there's a big circle around them of people taking their pictures because it's the Asian child. But we smoked at the time, and he was outside smoking, and we go back into the lobby, and where everybody's drinking, and he's like, "Oh, I just asked some guy. I said, do you get laid a lot at these things?" And I'm like, "Who did you say that to, Tom?" He goes, "I don't know. He was somebody. I think he was a guest, or an actor." I'm like, "Well, if you see him, could you point him out to me?" So I think it was either later that night, probably not later that night, but he points out Paul McGann. And I don't know how I found out afterwards, and I think it may have been Chris Burgess, but it wasn't Paul McGann. But it was actually Lars Pearson who wrote the I Who books. But to this day, whenever he's watching one of his nature documentaries, and Paul McGann does a lot of documentaries, narrative documentaries, I say, you know who that is? No, who? He's that guy that you asked if he gets a lot of girls. Remember that? He's a doctor? Yeah, I never told him who it really was. Oh, and I was so sad. Oh, they got a new doctor. Look at him. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. I don't want to go on about my issues.
I'm pretty sure Paul McGann could get all of that he wanted.
Oh, God, yeah. He could just come to my room and read the phone book, and I'll masturbate to that probably.
I'm not gay, but I think I would too.
I felt so bad for him. I was, the $25 all-you-can-eat breakfast at the restaurant downtown, or downstairs at the Marriott, at the Gallifrey. And he's sitting at the table right next to me. Okay. I'm like, oh, Paul McGann. Yeah. And while he's sitting there eating his breakfast and I think reading the paper, because this was long enough that, there were papers.
Mm-hmm.
Some girl comes up and gives him a gift and talks to him for like 5 minutes. And I just thought to myself, that is so fucking rude. But he was so professional and so nice. I think that if this was me all hung over at Gallifrey, I'd probably be like Billy Bob.
Oh, you're one of those people.
You're one of those guys.
Exactly. I would have been like Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa. I'm eating my fucking lunch. I'm sure Nicola Bryant would have done that. She seems kind of like a fucking bitch. But.
No, she was nice. I mean, I remember I was I was because I was standing in line to get her autograph, and I was going to have her sign this photo, and then they had like this sort of like a not quite a poster size, but there was a photo of her in a leather jacket, and the leather jacket's open, and she's in a black lacy bra.
Oh my God! And you brought that to her for her to
No. Her handlers were selling it.
Oh my gosh! Oh wow!
And he was like, and the guy was basically like, oh come on, you want to get this one, you want to get this one. This is like, and so the guy talked me into getting it. So I got it, and she autographed it, and I brought it home, and Darlene's like, you are not hanging that up.
and now I have it.
And now Chris has it.
And
is it the same one?
Would not let me hang it up.
Oh wow! When you bought it, you should have asked, can you laminate this for an extra charge?
I almost, when we went to the convention where Katie Manning was there,
Oh no, I know exactly what you're going to say. The
picture from whatever it was, Playboy or whatever, where she's naked straddling the Dalek. Or, I'm sorry, the Darlek. She's naked straddling the Darlek, son.
Naked with the Darlek.
Naked.
Yeah, she was
Jaybird straddling a Darlek. But I wanted to get an autograph of that picture. But I could not bring myself to get that picture and go in front of this 80-year-old woman and be like, can you sign this picture of you when you were young and hot and fucking a Dalek for me, please?
You never know. She could be very proud of it. She could be like Moira Rose. Like,
no, I've seen online. She signed she signed this picture. I by no means was a fucking oddity in wanting her to sign this. And apparently she has a very fucking open attitude to it. But I'm a bit of a prude in reality, and I couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't do it.
To be fair, that wasn't Playboy. That wasn't any kind of a girly magazine, and it was actually
it kind of was, but it was like a British sort of like fun film magazine or something like
Whatever
that.
Whatever the fuck it was, she was full on.
Well, I mean, you didn't see her vagina. She didn't. No. The Dalek wasn't washing her vagina or anything like that.
Yeah, she had all the fig leaf points covered, but she was definitely very fucking naked.
Yeah. I feel like I should tell, okay, so I think, Chris, you already said you told your best Doctor Who interaction with an actor moment. Did you have any, Sean? That I know you didn't really meet too many Doctor Who actors in your time, but is there any? Was there one that stood out for you?
Well, Mark Strickson was kind of a big deal because we brought wine.
Yeah, you actually interviewed him on stage. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a really easy interview, very sweet man. Although Steve thinks otherwise, because Steve thinks that he yelled at him. No, my favorite interaction was Matthew Waterhouse.
Oh, wow. You got to meet him?
I never met him.
Oh, okay.
But back in the day, I mean, like we're talking about 2010, 2011, I was easy on the eyes. Still am, I really must say.
Okay.
And he was doing a panel. I don't know what it was about, but he wouldn't stop looking at me. It was like he was just sometimes the gays they give you that come hither look, and actually.
Wait, who? Matthew Waterhouse wouldn't quit looking at you?
Yeah, and that was when he was actually kind of good looking, because he had this phase when he was older, where he looked kind of like a daddy. Now he
grew out of like the baby fat he had when he was actually on the show.
Yeah, and now he kind of just looks like a troll that lives under a bridge. Poor guy. But
so do we. I mean, come on.
Speak for yourself, there, sir. I prefer to rethink that I'm living like I don't know.
You're fucking beautiful. I take it back. I'm a troll.
We're all beautiful in God's eyes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we are all the the one in the short skirt and the bad habit that you're gonna end up with it in a dumpster at the end of the night. But it was so fucking worth it.
What's the guy's Rob O'Shea?
Rob O'Shea. Rob O'Shea for our Irishman from New Zealand.
Did you just put in an Irish accent in there with the?
Yes, I did.
You didn't put in chick music.
So my Doctor Who my favorite interaction has to be Elizabeth Sladen. And I'm sure I've told this many times. I haven't actually told this story on Doctor Who Gives a Fuck.
I want to hear it. I'm jealous.
Okay, because this was in, I think it was 2006. And so this was the convention where I only went for a day, and I spent the whole day in line to get autographs and photos of Liz Sladen and Colin Baker.
Worth it.
Yeah, it was. So I get my photo taken with Liz, and I'm wearing the black velvet coat and a frilly shirt. And I'm sitting next to her, and she's admiring it, of course, and everything. And she goes, "Are you going to be wearing this to the masquerade?" Meaning that am I gonna be wearing this to like the costume contest?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I was being a clever fuck, and I was saying, "Oh no, I dress like this all the time." And she takes my arm and she sort of playfully slaps me on my hand, and she goes, "Oh, you Americans, I never know whether you're joking or not." And I about fucking melted.
I would have melted. I absolutely would have fucking melted. I've not really got starstruck in front of celebrities before, but I think Elizabeth Sladen, I would have fucking just been like,
Yeah, it was like meeting the fucking queen, because she just had that air to her,
We miss you, Liz.
You know what John Barrowman said when he found out that she was there? He was on a panel. And, wait, is that Elizabeth Sladen? Oh, I'm moist. John. Don't say that again.
John. It was never cool to say that.
Well, we used to say it like, oh, you're ordering pizza? I'm moist. Is it okay to say it in that context? As long as you're not objectifying a person?
No, it's just kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's awkward. Especially if you say it in Comic Sans.
Put that on a t-shirt.
I did.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you did.
I saw a meme once, and I thought it was brilliant. Someone just printed the word moist in Comic Sans over and over on a piece of paper and put it on everything, so it's fucking offends everybody. Because apparently that's a thing. Comic Sans and the word moist. I don't understand it. I can understand, okay, Comic Sans is a stupid fucking font. But for some reason,
People get so like offended.
People get very fucking triggered by Comic Sans and the word moist, and it's like, okay, well, I get that it's an awkward and kind of unpleasant word, but there are lots and lots of fucking awkward and unpleasant words, not just the word moist. Why is this one so particularly offensive? And why is Comic Sans is not the most fucking unesthetic fucking font out there by any fucking means, but for some reason people get triggered by these things. So yeah, if you want to fuck up people on the office, just in your office, just fucking put moist in Comic Sans on a piece of paper and stick it up somewhere, and it will piss somebody off.
Good to know.
Try it.
I'm gonna wait a while before I try that in an office.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
You're doing
yeah,
the job
yeah,
on things. So
yeah. You're gonna put that up. I mean, I work from home, so I can't really do that. I mean,
You could, I mean, unless you want to piss off Darlene, and I don't know that would piss her off.
She'd be like, "What is up with you?" I don't understand.
She'd probably be like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah, she would.
You have been listening to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times. You can stream or subscribe to this human filth on Apple Podcasts or wherever the fuck you listen to your favorite podcasts. And for fuck's sake, leave a fucking review on Apple fucking Podcast. Don't be a cuck. Tell us why we suck. You can also follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter until some maniacal multi-millionaire buys those companies in their quest for world domination. And then you're all fucked. Doctor Who and all related characters and situations are trademarks of the BBC, and no infringement is intended.
When you leave this mortal plane,
Yeah.
you should totally have on your tombstone, leave a review, you fuck.
Well, I'm actually gonna get cremated. I'm not gonna have a headstone, so.
Put it on the jar or something. I don't know. It should
Yeah.
be there. Leave a review, you fuck.
Yeah. Don't be a cuck. Tell us why we suck. Yeah.